Should you or should you not be farming stage 10 hard mode? Is it going to be worth it? If that's a question you're asking yourself, you are in the right place. So let's discuss this together. What up, team? It is MurderInc here, talking about the new hard mode dungeons that were just released for the lovely game Raid Shadow Legends that we all enjoy playing. You know what I mean. Okay, so I have this sheet. I got it from my clan Discord. I don't know where it came from. I probably should have asked. Shout out to whoever made this sheet. I don't see any tags anywhere, so thank you for this. Wherever it came from. I'm assuming it was, I know it was data mined from somewhere, but it is what it is. So these are the odds, per se, of getting everything. We have stage 20, 24, 25. Then we have 1 through 10 here. So we see the energy amounts, the same energy for stage 25, and then 1 through 10 of the hard mode, all the same. So with that being said, what do we do? Is it worth it for you as a player to go into hard mode, to start farming for the hard mode? The answer for most players is going to be no. For like 99% of players, it's not worth farming hard mode. Murder, why is it not worth farming hard mode? Well, let's go over it. If you can complete stage 10 of a hard mode dungeon, you have a 1.6% chance of getting a 6-star mythical piece. With that, you have a 3.4% chance of getting a 5-star mythical piece. So let's kind of break this down and just assume this is all out of, we'll call it 1,000 runs. So out of 1,000 runs, you're getting 16 pieces of 6-star mythical, and out of 1,000 runs, you're getting 34 pieces of 5-star mythical on average based on the percentages here. So first of all, 1,000 runs is going to take a lot of energy, and for some of the dungeons it's going to be a bit harder of an investment to make those teams. So now you have the 16 or the 34 pieces of mythical gear. You now have to get the gear set you're looking for an upgrade, because not every gear set is good. And if you are farming stage 10 hard modes, the amount of gear sets you actually need from this game shrink to very, very small amount. I can think of like 3 or 4 sets off the back of my hands right here without thinking about it too much that you would actually need as an endgame player. So that kind of makes things a little bit difficult. But it doesn't end there, like it would slightly end if you were running stage 25 here. So like stage 25, you also need to get the stats you want on the piece you're looking for. Now, if you get a 6-star piece of gear, that's, let's say, a 6-star legendary, we have a 4% chance to get that on stage 25. You're looking for at least 3 good substats, then you want them to roll pretty well. You don't want a quad roll and the 1 substat you don't want. With mythical gear, it's going to be a little bit different. If you are fishing and hunting for this mythical gear, you want one of the rolls to be in a proper substat on top of things, which you don't have to worry about with legendary gear. You have to roll that piece of gear first. So with 1 fewer action, you're adding another layer of RNG and probability to the entire thing. So if you don't understand by now, I'll make it very simple. Mythical gear is going to be a whales game, no matter how you look at it. If you're free to play and it's not too much to farm stage 10 and you want to just head straight for the copium, go for it. You have a higher chance of getting a 6-star legendary piece. You have a lower chance of getting a 6-star rare piece, 5-star rare piece, which you can still get, which kind of sucks. Probably should have removed that, but they had to fill in the kind of percentages somehow so you weren't just raining on mythical gear. I'm not really sure what they could have swapped that for. I don't want to say shards. They wouldn't want to make this a shard farming dungeon. So, I don't know. I think if it were me, you can let me know if you like this idea or not. I would take the 30%, we're talking about stage 10 hard mode only, and I think you guys will like this idea. I mean, of course you're going to like it because it's getting rid of a 5-star rare slot. So you would take the 30.60%, you would break that entire percentage up and that would be the chance of you getting ore. Because you can't get ore from anywhere in the game outside of events, tournaments, or just buying it. So now you have a high chance of getting ore, but the percentages are now split within that 30% of getting a 5-star ore, 6-star ore, epic, legendary. They'd probably throw in rare just to skew the odds a little bit more, but this would be a fairly solid way to get ore and get players more interested in farming this content. I think if they did that, this would be hands down worth it for pretty much every single player to have this as their goal. Now, if this isn't your goal, what should you be doing? As mentioned before, even with the addition of mythical gear, all of the percentages are going up slightly. So you have a slightly higher chance of getting a 6-star legendary piece, 5-star legendary. The only thing going down is a 5-star rare option for you. So that's always going to be a good thing. So if you can complete stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, you probably just go for it, even though the chance of getting mythical gear is very small. Now, I am not talking to the crazy pay-to-win whales that have very, very strong gear. Someone who has gear similar to something as my account, you would never do stage 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You're just going for 10, full send. If you can't do stage 10, kind of like Fire Knight, what are we going to do? Here's the painful truth. I'm just going to tell you right now. We are going to wait for 6-star mythical sets to be sold, and then we're going to buy them. Because if you cannot farm a dungeon in 1 minute and 30 seconds, you're better off just farming stage 25. It is what it is. Maybe stage 1, 2, and 3 for the slightly higher chance, but that's kind of copium. I get it, you get 0% chance at mythical, and any stage in hard mode you have that small chance, but if you're not fast farming it, it's really not going to be worth it, because if you are a whale and spending money on energy, you have unlimited energy, and you don't want to be running Fire Knight 10 for 7 hours for one piece of mythical gear that's probably going to be like a set you don't need. It's just the way it is. If you've been farming for long enough, you already know that's the way it is. So unfortunately, Dragon, Spider, those are going to be the go-to dungeons to farm, and unless they, I guess, nerf Fire Knight or someone figures out a way to speed farm Fire Knight 10 hard mode in, I would say, at least under 2 minutes. Even 2 minutes is kind of slow. 1 minute and 30 seconds tops. If you can't farm it that quickly, you just have to wait, and you're going to buy the mythical gear when it pops up as a gear pack, because it's going to be crazy to be able to buy mythical gear packs for sure, making the game not even pay to win. I kind of had this argument with someone in the comments, and it was just mind-blowing how stupid it was, but they said mythical gear is widening the pay gap even more. No, it's not. I'm just going to tell you right now, it's not widening anything, because you don't need mythical gear for anything in this game. I'm going to be honest with you. Unless you're one of the 100 players that takes Platinum seriously, I don't mean you're pushing on Platinum Reset. Doesn't mean you're taking it seriously. I mean you're investing into blessings. You're fishing during 10x events for +4 empowered meta arena champions. That's investing into Platinum Arena. That's kind of what you have to do if you have any dreams of getting a trophy or placing at top 5 on Platinum Reset. So if you're not one of those players, hard mode doesn't really matter. And I've seen, and I talked about this, the FOMO, fear of missing out. Players are going nuts, saying half the teams showcased right now on YouTube, they are pay to win, whale centric. This is content for those who just want a challenge. And if it's farmable, it's farmable. If it's not farmable, I mean, Fire Knight, listen, it can't be cracked right now. It was way easier before, and hopefully no one got clickbait by this. I actually didn't release my video of the 1 minute and 50 second team I made on the test server where it was bugged and the speed was like 100 less than we currently have on live here. So I was doing that in under 2 minutes. The team had potential to be like 1 minute and 15 seconds. So it was looking really, really good for sure. But I had to pull that off, and I think I've only been able to get up to stage 8 as of right now, and I think stage 8 was in like 4 minutes and something. Don't have a Krizia, don't have Teo, so listen, I don't have the good champions to speed farm like I think a few people I've seen are already doing stage 10 Fire Knight in 4 minutes. It's still way too slow no matter how you look at it. So that's definitely one of the main points as far as should you be going after hard mode dungeons. For most players, no. It's just unnecessary. You don't need it. You don't have to rebuild your teams for it. But if you can, if it's within your reach, definitely go for it. But all of these teams, and I hate to be this guy, but I'm going to say it, a fellow YouTuber, we're not going to mention names here, tested some of these free-to-play teams that other CCs have released, and I couldn't believe what I read. They were like, I failed 8 out of 10 times when I replicated their team, which means, this is even hard to say, they completed it 2 times. They fished for a good run where it worked, and they put the video out and said, here's the team for this content. Now, it's usually easy to find this. You'll see it all the time, people in the comments saying, the team doesn't work. Mine's failing. I have the same exact stats. That doesn't mean you're doing something wrong. I mean, maybe your masteries are off or something, but it also means that they were fishing, they got lucky procs, and whatever they claim, 98% win rate. A lot of people kind of say that as like a cop-out. It's really like 15, 25% win rate, and listen, nothing gets better clicks than something that says free-to-play using rares and epics with OP gear, and other players getting baited into thinking they can do the same thing with any consistent or efficient success. So, with all of that being said, probably wait, and this is where, again, FOMO comes in. Whenever new content comes out, you should never be building teams on day one. You just shouldn't. If you're not someone that's fully invested into the game, you're willing to blow resources on testing, it's fun for some people. That's the main reason why people are enjoying Fire Night right now. Not because of the rewards we can get, but we cannot crack it as of right now. So since we can't crack it, we're just throwing energy at it, throwing ideas, building champions, swapping masteries, swapping gear, and it's fun. I think that's what hard mode should be about. If I had it my way, I would get rid of this entire drop rate pool for hard modes. Hard modes would be something you do to unlock the chance of getting mythical gear on stage 25. Right? You understand what I mean? So if you can clear up to stage 10 in hard mode, you then unlock something in your account that allows mythical gear to be dropped from stage 25. Whatever the rates are for stage 10 would just shift over to 25, and you wouldn't have to go through all of this. That would just add a challenge to the game, and I think it would be fun. Granted, if they did that, hopefully they would make things like Spider harder. Ice Golem is irrelevant because the gear sets suck, but Dragon, they would make that a little bit harder too, and they would just add some type of challenge for endgame players, because again, this is endgame content. So that's kind of where I stand on the whole hard mode thing. Is it worth it for you? I don't know what your accounts look like. I don't know what your progression's like. So kind of go through the information I'm talking to you guys about and make it up for yourselves, whether you think it's worth it or if it's not worth it at all. Leave me a comment. I'm curious about your feedback on the whole 5-star rare, swapping it out for Chaos Ore idea. And also leave me a comment what you think about getting rid of the rewards altogether for stage 1 through 10 and just make it an account unlock thing where once you can finally get to 10, you can complete it and you hit a certain threshold, whatever they want to make it, some type of challenge. Do this in 120 seconds or less for every single stage. Then once you do that, you unlock mythical gear for stage 25 for that dungeon forever. Forever, forever, forever. And it doesn't get harder. You can still fast farm it, you can get the rewards, and I think that would be a much better approach for sure. So that's going to conclude this video. Hopefully I answered some questions. Saw a ton of people asking, so I see you made the guide for the dungeon. What do you think, if we should run it or not? Which is essentially what led me to make this video. So as always, if you enjoy this, smash that like button, subscribe, turn on the notification bell, and I will see you all in the next upload.